So, today, got my notepad again, starting to write things down. I'm enjoying the process of writing things down throughout the day, during the day, and then coming back to them for the video, and then rethinking about them, and being able to look at them again for the second time, or even third time, depending on what I've been doing. But I'm kind of enjoying this little notepad, so I'm gonna kind of keep doing this little idea here, so get used to it. Okay, so what I wrote down, I have busting ass in gym, somebody else's tempo. And so what that means to me is whenever I go to the gym, first of all, I don't think you should be there for more than an hour and a half. Because to me, anything longer than, for sure no longer than 2 hours. I'm going on this light right now. Anything longer than 2 hours to me means that you're either ridiculous and you're going insane, or you aren't working hard. Simple as that. So to me, I'm only ever in the gym for about an hour and then I'm out of there. So I knock things out quick, I work out hard, and I work out fast, and then I'm done, and that's it. So an hour is usually probably the a little bit longer than even usual, but around an hour. So that's the first thing. I guess that the other thing I was thinking of too was what's helpful is to use people around you who are also at the gym as like a point of reference. You know, how quickly are they doing their sets? Are they beating you to their next set every single time? That's what I use quite frequently. I'll think to myself, okay, you got to start your set before they begin their set. And while it sounds simple and, easy, whatever, a lot of times it's kind of hard, because sometimes there's guys around me that are working pretty fast, that are getting shit done, and I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta kind of try to keep up with these guys. And so for me, it's a competition, right? It's me versus them, even though they might have no idea, they probably have no clue what's going on, but I'm using them as kind of a tempo, as a guide, as a reference of time, kind of. So I'm thinking I have to beat them to my next set, otherwise I'm being lazy, otherwise they beat me, essentially. I used to do that too in the gym, where I'd be on the Stairmaster and I'd pick out one person doing a Stairmaster or treadmill. Like, all right, I can't get off until they get off first, and that I don't do anymore so much at all. I just kind of bust my ass, and for a short period of time for what I have deciphered to be a good amount of time for me. I don't really do the whole picking out one person anymore thing. But what I do is throughout, when I'm working out, doing weights and stuff, is the person next to me, I'll be like, all right, whatever they're doing, I have to beat them to that. So whatever that might mean. That's the first thing. Second thing I was thinking of was kind of using your breath as a timer. So I don't know if people do this, or this is like a common thing, but for me, I use my breath as a timer for sure in the gym, but also like in the shower, or when I'm doing something that I feel comfortable with, and then I know I need to change to a different thing. So in the shower, for example, if I've been in there for 15 minutes or whatever, I'm like, oh, I should probably get out of here. For me, what I do is I slow down my breath, and I'll count breaths. I'll say, all right, you have 10 breaths to get out of the shower, or 5 breaths to leave, or whatever. And so I'll take a deep breath in, exhale is 1. Deep breath in, exhale is 2. I'll do that 5 times until, and then I've made it up in my mind to where I have to get out of the shower on 0. So 1, so I breathe in on 1, and then on the 0, I turn the water off. That's just one example of that. I mean, you can do like a little 3, 2, 1 countdown. The key is whatever you choose, whatever it might be, a 3, 2, 1 countdown, or a breathing countdown, whatever it is. The key is that you have it made up in your mind that you have to make the change at 0 or 1 or whatever. If you're hesitant and you're like, I don't really want to get out on 0, then probably you won't do it. I know Tony Robbins does this thing in the morning where he jumps in a cold tank, and his whole purpose partially is like a physical aspect to it, right? The whole central nervous system's freaking out and waking up and stuff. The bigger thing that he was talking about, though, is that there's no conversation happening in his head. He's jumping in this cold tank, and that's the end of it. That's it. He has to. There is no other two ways about it. And so I guess that was kind of an interesting thing for me. But I kind of use a a fairly similar tactic, I guess, of this whole countdown method. 3, 2, 1, bam, now you have to go. There is no conversation. There is no debating this. It's happening. So I use that in the gym. Sometimes I'll be exhausted and like, oh, I kind of just finished a set. I'm pretty tired. I don't really feel like doing anything for at least a few more seconds. But either my breath or the person around me, it's a red light. No! Either my breath timer, whatever I'm using, or the person around me will push me to do, to do what I don't necessarily feel like doing. So, I guess that's all I have to say for today, actually. A little bit shorter video. So yeah, busting ass in the gym and then breath timer. I guess while I'm here, actually, I'll also mention I'm looking into this real estate thing again, and I was emailing this guy who is very knowledgeable. He has these classes he teaches and podcasts, and he knows a ton. And I was just talking to him, had a few questions for him and stuff, and he got back to me, and basically, I told him my goals and what I was hoping to accomplish and do in the next few years here. And basically, he was just like, you're gonna have to get 100% focused on this mission. You have to be all in. You can't dilly-dally. You have to be, you have to take, what did he say? You have to take massive action. You have to take massive action. And I've been using that similar terminology for a lot of things. But for me, it's hearing him or, reading the message he sent to me in that context was kind of like, kind of a wake-up call for me. I was like, it made me a little nervous. I was like, oh gosh, I have to take massive action to complete my goals. I'm gonna have to really go out of my comfort zone, and that's kind of a scary thought. As I was reading this email, I was like, holy shit, I didn't really know what I was getting into. But anyway, the main message there was just take massive action, and taking massive action is scary for everyone, I think, especially when the thing is new. You're taking massive action in a new. My throat's like. Taking massive action in a new category especially is scary. Taking massive action in something that you're already familiar with can still be a little bit daunting, I suppose, but it's certainly less scary. But even just walking into a new situation at all is scary, let alone taking massive action. Anyway, I've been kind of facing that the rest of today. I've been trying to come to terms with that in my head. Anyway, my throat's gonna explode here in a second. I gotta go do a few things, so that's all I gotta say. That's the end of the video. Roger out.